Good morning, everyone. It is 6 minutes after the hour. It is Thursday, July 18, 2019, 53 degrees outside. And, what a beautiful day we're going to have today. A beautiful week. Going to be perfect, Shane.
It's something to look forward to.
Yes, it is. Wow. It's going to be nice. Let's take a look at our Gallatin Valley weather forecast because it's this one I don't mind giving you. Of course, there's always a chance of hail and snow. So
of course,
keep that in mind. You're in Montana. Well, today we're looking for a high of 77 degrees, 47 the overnight low. It's mostly sunny. What's the difference between mostly sunny and partly cloudy?
I think it's just a transition expression.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, mostly sunny today, 77, zero chance of rain all day long. Friday, 74 degrees, 43 the overnight low. Sunny all day, no chance of rain. And Saturday, a nice 72 with 46 overnight low. And sunny again, no chance of rain. And on Sunday, it's all the way up to 80 and sunny. So your fair week, fair started yesterday, so your fair week is going to be rain-free and pretty comfortable temperatures at 80 on Sunday. Might be a little warm, but should be pretty comfortable. We usually have pretty low humidity and all that stuff, so should be pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And for your commute back on Monday, 87 and 58, mostly sunny on that day too. So pretty nice looking forecast for the next 5 days or so. Temperatures right now, Livingston is 53, Manhattan is 53, Three Forks is 55, and Gallup Gateway is 52, Ennis is 51, Big Sky is 45, and Belgrade at the airport, 52 degrees right now. We're at 53 degrees here at 8 minutes after the hour, and that is your weather for today.
Yeah. Now that's not bad weather. See,
that's not bad weather at all. Nobody can accuse me of whining about the weather.
No, you get no. That's right.
Weather's pretty nice. So
no wine and cheese for breakfast.
No, get over it.
Yeah, that's right. But just get out there and enjoy that barbecue season.
Yeah.
And do you have corn yet?
Corn?
Yeah.
We don't go corn here. Well, not locally or not near here. I haven't seen corn since I've been in Montana. I've seen wheat and other stuff, but
no. But I mean, are you getting corn in the store now?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, you don't?
No,
Yeah, we're getting that peaches and cream corn. It's so delicious.
Oh yeah. Well, we probably will, I guess. I don't know. I thought corn came around later in the year, like October.
Not north of here. It's already grown.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's like apples. They're always there. So I don't know.
Yeah, they are in a barrel somewhere.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, in this date in history, 1536, Parliament passed an act declaring the authority of the Pope void in England.
Yeah, an interesting confrontation, with King Henry VIII. We talked a lot. But this one's interesting because this was at the King of France, Charles V, the King of Spain, Charles V, and he was also the Holy Roman Empire. So they got into a continental, war with each other, and then, him and his marriages, and then he dumped the Roman Church in England and started the Church of England. So yeah, but it was principally a personal conflict between him and Charles the Fifth, the Holy Roman Emperor. So it's one of those neighborhood bully deals, but between countries at that time.
Yeah, well, I don't know. The Pope and the churches have been going around and around and around.
Oh yeah, there's always been some, consistently type of conflict within the Roman Church. I'd say probably that John Paul II is about one of the really great holy popes in our lifetime, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been like the other popes earlier, Pius and the VIII and the others.
Mm-hmm.
Not really a great group of people, I don't think.
Yeah. On this date in history, 1918, Nelson Mandela, a leading anti-apartheid figure and South Africa's first black president, was born in Mezio.
Yeah, and
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, first president of South Africa that was black, of course.
Uh-huh.
And that was then he took office in May of '94 till June of '99, and we all know the story. It's one of those stories of perseverance and overcoming all but what
adversity and everybody against him, and
you think an impossible situation, and he did it.
Yep. Quite a gentleman. Well, in 1927, on this date, Baseball Hall of Famer Ty Cobb got his 4,000th career hit. We talked about him dying yesterday.
Yeah,
but not in 1927.
No. That's when he was at his top of his game.
Yeah, he was at the top of his game. Got his 4,000th career hit, and that lasted well into the 70s, 50-some years before Pete Rose came along and broke his hit record. Well, in 1969, this is quite a day, Shay.
It's getting to be.
Man, 1969, a car driven by Senator Ted Kennedy, Democrat of Massachusetts, plunged off a bridge on Chappaquiddick Island near Martha's Vineyard, and his passenger, 28-year-old Mary Jo Kopechne, died. He left her in the car and didn't report it for a while, and it was it's been news stories, it's been movies, you name it.
It's a very sad story to a very, not distinguished family, but an American family that suffered huge tragedy. Let's put it that way.
Boy, they have. A lot of loss of life there. Joe Jr. Died.
Yeah, Joe in World War II got shot down as a pilot.
Two sons assassinated. And
yes.
Ted doing this, and John Jr. and the plane crash. There's quite a list of folks in the Kennedy regime that didn't make it.
Yeah, Robert being assassinated in California, running for president, and then this blew up Ted Kennedy's chance for president.
Yeah.
Amazing thing was their father, Joseph Kennedy. He's the one sort of initiated all this. He was, although he was a successful businessman, questionably in some regards of how, because he bootlegged and stuff. But,
right.
But having said that, he really believed from the beginning with 12 children that he had 4 sons, one could be a president.
Yeah.
He pushed it all the way.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's an amazing story from that regard. And, of course, one of them ended up. The sad thing I find about this whole situation is this is one of these contradictions you find in the Democratic Party, where he murdered a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He was drunk. He walked home, left her in the car to drown, passed out, woke up, hung over, and they waited several hours wanting to make sure that any test of his blood, the alcohol test, wouldn't be too high. And then just, called the police and said, "Oh, I drove my car off the bridge. It's in the pond." Anyway, the point is that, he became what they called the lion of the Senate. I
don't know. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And yeah. Well, the Jack Kennedy contrast with Donald Trump too. Kennedy was a very rich guy, didn't release his tax returns.
No, he didn't.
And never did. And also wasn't seen by the people as a billionaire. He was seen as a regular guy, pretty much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they weren't quite billionaires because their father was very wealthy. There's no question. I'm sure
they were certainly in the millionaire status.
Yeah, $700 million. Yeah. I think he had like a $400 or $500 million estate when he died. But it was gone by the second generation. The grandkids barely had any money left.
Yeah.
The first 12 kids spent it all.
Yeah. Okay, from our text line, 478-8298. Tom, you need to look around when you drive around here. There's plenty of corn grown here, mostly for silage. Yellowstone County is lousy with corn. Well, I don't get over to Yellowstone County very often. may not be as plentiful as wheat in Montana. Have you never heard or seen the ads for the corn maze out on Cameron Bridge Road? I have seen that. Yes, I have. So, all right, I will look around more. I just know there's not a lot of corn here. Didn't say there wasn't any, but there's not a lot.
No, but we were talking about commercial corn, and he's not.
Yeah, well, for silage, Yeah. So whatever. So, let's see. In 1989, actress Rebecca Schaefer, 21, was shot to death at her Los Angeles home by an obsessed fan. The killing prompted California in 1990 to pass the nation's first anti-stalking law, and that was quite a story at the time because she was on a popular TV show and just got her career kind of going, and boom, gone.
And I've known several families, regrettably, that have lost daughters to stalkers, and two of them because of bodybuilding and what do you call it, the drugs they take, right?
Oh yeah, steroids.
Steroids cause people to go wacko, right? They're really bad.
Certainly can, depending on your disposition, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, we got to take a quick break. We got to take care of the ranchers, farmers, and all the folks here that listen to us every morning. Tommy Goloff, your morning mayor. Shaman Taubman, half man, half amazing in Vancouver, British Columbia. And we'll be right back with more of the KMMS Morning Show with Tom and Shane right after these important words. Welcome back, everyone. 23 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. It's Thursday, July 18th, 19th, 18th. It's the 18th, yeah. I don't know what day it is.
Only one day of the year.
They're all the same. We're here every morning. Who cares? Who cares what day it is? It's just Thursday.
Yeah, it's just another Thursday. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Hey, the Big Sky State Fair is going on out at the fairgrounds, and get out there. We're going to have great weather all week for that. So going to be in the mid 70s to high 80s, or the low 80s, I should say, all this week. So get out there and have some fun at the fair. Do some stuff.
Go see the 4-H Club, the future of food in North America.
That's right, yeah. And speaking of fun, how about an evening with Tom and Shane? Woo, yeah. Friday.
Right. Yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, I'm so nervous. My teeth are starting to shake.
Oh, yeah? All right. Well, on Friday, July 26th, Shane and I will be live at the Grand Tree in the Highlight Room. It'll be an evening with Tom and Shane, and Shane's going to be in town for a birthday party and in the family. And so we decided he'll be on the air live with us on that morning and maybe the following Monday as well. So if you want to meet Shane, the main draw, obviously, of this deal. Nobody's going to come out and see me, but Shane is going to be the guy that everybody wants to see and talk to and meet. So we're going to have an evening at the Grand Tree, and you can reserve your spot. And hey, go to KMMSAM.com. And on the hot bar, what's hot bar? You'll see an evening with Tom and Shane, RSVP. We need to know the number of people that are coming so that we can have proper seating for you. We don't want you standing along the wall, and we want to accommodate everybody. So we need to know how many of you are coming, and you can go over there and do it. You can do it on our AM 1450 KMMS Smart app as well. So get on your smartphone. And you can also reserve your spot there. You can do it on our app chat as well. We had three from our app chat yesterday. So hey.
Dare I ask what the number is so far?
I think we've got something like 16 in the first day, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad. 10 days, that's 160 people.
We only mentioned it twice.
Oh my gosh, that's all right. Okay. Well, looks like it may be milk and Oreos for everyone.
That's what it will probably be. It'll be Costco cheesecake or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Something. Let's see. From our text line, 478-8298. If anybody thinks Montana grows a respectable amount of corn, I suggest a drive to other parts of the country. Yeah, go to Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. Yeah, you'll see nonstop corn. That's what I say. Yeah. I'm not saying that there's none grown here, but not much. Anyway, Let's see. Just a personal note to you guys. Unfortunately, my husband, loyal listener Jer, and I, faithful listener Tam, are looking forward to your get-together. But as it turns out, we will be on vacation at that time, so we will miss the party. But we will be there in spirit, have a blast, and we look forward to hearing about it upon our return. Well, I'm sorry you can't make it, but I don't know. We might do a Facebook Live or something there. I don't know. We'll see what things are available to us. KMMS isn't going to let us broadcast it, obviously, because that'd be pretty boring radio.
Oh yeah, nothing to promote the station, right?
Yeah. But we're going to try to get as many of the guests that we have on, so you can meet Mike McCormick and maybe Jennifer Bordy, and certainly a lot of you know Jeff Krause already, the three-time mayor of Bozeman. So we hope to have all those folks out there to meet, and also too, you'll be able to put a face to some of the callers out there. So yeah, Clint will be there, and Pete's coming, and so some of those folks that you hear regularly will be there, and you can maybe touch base with those folks and say, yeah, I really agree with everything you say, or, you know.
I just got to meet the Colonel, man. You know.
Well, yeah, Colonel Clink. Yeah,
Colonel. Yeah, one of a kind.
Colonel Clink will be there, so we'll make sure that you're taken care of there.
Well, and all the ladies that listen to us, because we know the numbers have increased. So
that's right. Good. Yeah, we need. We hope all the ladies show up. Shane is going to give ballroom dancing lessons. He's promised to do that.
Well, so. No, that's not what I said.
You said you're an expert at teaching. You could teach him in 2 or 3 minutes.
That's right. I can. Yeah.
Well, all right, ladies. Maybe we'll have a dollar dance.
Well, you've got to bring your band then.
Well, yeah, right. Well, the singer's dead, so.
Sorry, I can't. I can't. All right, you'll have to do karaoke then.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I doubt it. 1998 on this date, a 23-foot tsunami along the coast of New Guinea killed nearly 3,000 people. Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable thing. And the interesting thing is Papua New Guinea shares an island. Mm-hmm. It's east of Indonesia. Indonesia is an amazing place. 5 time zones in Indonesia, 7,000 miles across, and 5,000 islands, 290 million people. And then you have Papua New Guinea, who's out there on the end. Mm-hmm. And it's north of Australia in the Pacific Ocean. But real distinct, 851 known languages. The most rural country in the world, with only 18% of the people live in urban centers. And there are an unknown number of species, animals, and insects still to be discovered on the island.
All right. We got to go. Fox News coming up next, Montana State News, and Brooke Foster weather, and some other interesting stuff. So stay tuned. Shane and I'll be back right after the news. 25 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Thursday, July 18th, 2019, 53 degrees outside, looking for a high of 77 today. And from our poll question yesterday, is Donald Trump a racist? That was our question yesterday. The count final, well, it's still going on. You can still go over and vote if you want to at our website at KMMSAM.com or on your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS. Currently, 55% say no, he is not racist by his deeds, and 33%, almost 34%, say yes by his words. 7% say I do not dwell on unproven accusations, and 5 others say no, or let me see, the other one is just protective of something he loves, America, bunch of snowflakes. So there you are. That's the goal of... So 55% say no, he's not racist by his deeds. 34% say yes, he is by his words. In our poll question today, should human cloning be legal? What do you think, Shane? Should human cloning be legal?
No, but it's already going on, and I'm certain that people have already been cloned privately with the wealthy people in the world.
You think so? All right. Well,
yeah.
Well, anyway, your choices are no, certainly not my neighbor. And
yeah, that's good.
Yes, the world would be better with more of me. I think that'd be good if there were 2 of us, 2 Toms and 2 Shanes, to battle every morning? That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Only if I could sleep in.
Yeah, well, one of us can. See, that'd be the. See, we'd only have to work 2 or 3 days a week. We could have our clones come in here and do that. So, no votes yet for I don't know, and no votes for what is cloning. So, there we are so far. So,
and of course they'd have to get some compensation, and you'd have to care for them.
Well, you'd think so, yeah. So
like it's not,
Yeah, well, it'd be the brother. It'd be the brother or sister you never had,
Yeah, the twin brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would be a twin, I guess, if you were cloned. So.
Very good. I love it.
Yeah. What if you didn't like your clone?
I know. What would you do?
Would that mean you don't like yourself?
Well, and if somebody goes and kills their clone, is that murder? Because they're killing themselves. So
I would think so. Yeah.
They're not dead.
Yeah. I don't know.
The clone is, but they're not.
Yeah.
Boy, it opens up a new angle of law for all those lawyers out there. Wow.
Well,
this could be a law.
Well, you remember, I don't know if you remember seeing the movie called The Island, where they had all these people on the island that were clones of the people, so they could harvest the organs if they needed them. If they had a bad liver, they'd just slap a liver in there that would work, and lungs or heart or whatever. And whenever these people were called for an organ, they thought they had won a trip to somewhere, and find out nope, we're just going to take you out. We'll get another clone on the way. So I don't know. The future's scary, Shane.
It in a lot of ways it is.
It certainly can be. So. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at our local news that's going on around the area. One of the big things that's happening, Shane, is that Wheat Montana. You remember Wheat Montana here, and they've been sold. So they're out of the business. So they were based in Three Forks, sold its mills and bakeries to a private entity firm in 2015, and sold its farm to a new family in January, and they are, I guess, going to pursue other pursuits.
Yes.
They still have the Sacagawea Inn, Three Forks, and a couple other. Well, they got the RSVP downtown here, the hotel downtown on 7th.
Yeah.
And so they are going to pursue other things. Want to focus on properties in the hospitality industry. A year ago, they opened the revamped RSVP Motel in Bozeman, which is pretty nice. Used to be the Rainbow, looked like kind of a dump, but now it's pretty nice there. And then the daughters are running that venture, so for them. And as I say, they got the Sacagawea Inn, the historic inn in Three Forks, pretty nice place if you've never been there. So take a trip to Three Forks and take a look at it. It's pretty nice there. Right. They've got, I think they serve meals and things there as well. So pretty nice.
And this, of course, coming from someone who's done this.
Well, that's true. Yeah. You have, haven't you?
I have.
For the folks that don't know, Shane used to run the Bacchus Pub Kitchen here in Bozeman.
That's right.
While he was going to MSU, so.
And the pizza, not the pizza, but the spaghetti factory.
Spaghetti factory, when it was here, is actually very, very good. So,
yeah, in the evening. Yeah, I did the Bacchus from 5 until 11 in the morning, and went to school, came back, and ran the kitchen from 7 till 2 in the morning.
And got your education at the same time.
And I tried to.
Well, obviously, it didn't help your health. You're gonna lay off those cancer sticks, man.
Yeah, but a cold will do it to you.
Yeah, well, it makes it even worse.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, the Attorney General, Tim Fox, and the North Dakota Attorney General, they're out to overrule a Washington state law that imposed new restrictions on oil trains from the North Plains to guard against explosive derailments. They want to take some of the gases out of the Bakken oil before they ship it, and unfortunately, that removal is very expensive and makes it hard to justify. So they've had a few fiery explosions over the years, including a 2013 accident that in Quebec, of all places, it killed 47 people. So, yeah, they. So anyway, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes. In a legal petition to the U.S. Department of Transportation, Tim Fox and North Dakota Wayne Steinheim said federal authorities over railroads preempts the state law. Washington Governor Jay Inslee, you might remember him running for president. One of the Democrats up there.
Yeah, the coal baron.
Yeah. In May, he signed the measure that requires oil shipped by rail through the state to have more volatile gases removed to reduce the risk of explosive and potentially deadly derailments. So we'll see how that plays out in the courts, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see because. It's either going to increase the cost of gasoline in Washington and Oregon and California, where the Bakken oil comes from. So they take it over to the refineries over there. So we'll find out as time goes on. So we got to take another quick break. The Gallatin Fair is going on. The Big Sky State Fair is here in Bozeman, right out at the fairgrounds. So you'll want to get out there and check that out this week. And we'll be right back with more right after this. 14 minutes for the top of the hour, and Shane Matobin on the line with me, half man, half amazing, Vancouver, British Columbia. Tommy Goloff, your morning mayor in the house, and welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And in local news, a lookout tower burned down in Yellowstone, Shane, struck by lightning. The Mount Holmes Fire Lookout burned on Tuesday. And it sat on top of the peak southwest of Mammoth Hot Springs and north of Madison Junction at an elevation of about 10,000 feet. So it's right up there.
I know that tower. I went up there as a kid.
Yeah, the lightning didn't have to go very far to get it. So
that's right, yeah.
But the employee who staffs Mount Washburn Fire Lookout reported the Mount Holmes fire late Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday morning, 3 park employees and a park fire chief tried to fly to the lookout by helicopter, but the flight was postponed. Doesn't say why. While flying, however, the helicopter manager got a photo of the lookout that showed the structure burned to the ground, leaving only the stone foundation. And it was built in 1931, and the lookout was staffed until 2007. So... sad to see history go. Yeah.
That's right. A lot of them, as you said, were built in the during the Depression. It was one of Franklin's programs, but they were all built with wood. And then in the 70s and 80s, they started building them with steel and a lot of glass.
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta look out for fires and whatever.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff like that.
Job,
so yeah.
And lightning. You gotta look out for lightning.
Well, that too. You can't have little portholes there to look out.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the lookout was renovated in 1998, and it's an outstanding example of the rustic architecture style that typified early park architecture. And they're disappointed that the historic structure is. As a window into the past is gone.
Oh, that's
it is sad. It is sad to see that. So, yeah, too bad.
Too bad for those high altitude hikers.
Well, we had an attempted kidnapping the other day, Shane. Guy punches out the winch or punches out the window of the woman's car window, gets in the car, and they drive away, and then they come back. The cops are there, and they arrest the guy, and he could face up to 100 years in prison and a $50,000 fine. I guess he wanted to talk to his girlfriend because she wouldn't return his calls or his texts, I guess. And I'm beginning to understand why.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. So anyway, this guy could face big time in prison for being a jerk, but I guess
a stalker.
A stalker, yeah, pretty much. So,
wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The thing about these kind of stories is so amazing is as you as you dive into them, and you find out that it's people that know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's so strange about it, right? That's wow.
Yeah.
Good story though. Well done, Eagle Man. I like the story.
Yeah, the story. You just never know what's going to happen. This guy he drove his employer's vehicle.
Oh, get out!
Found her. Yeah. So they called the owner of the company to find out who this guy was, who was driving the vehicle. They at least found out who he was, and then eventually he drives back to go back to work, I guess, after beating the woman several times. He punched her a bunch of times while they were talking about their relationship and where it was going in the future, I guess.
Oh my God.
So anyway, it gets pretty good. From our text line, 478-8298, State Fair only happens in the capital. Yeah, I kind of take a little
umbrage.
Yeah, of calling it the Big Sky State Fair here, because it isn't the State Fair here. It's a county fair. And I hate the way they try to make it more than it is. It screws the 4-H kid. And caller said yesterday that no ownership of private property was a hallmark of socialism, communism. Why don't I direct deposit my paycheck to DNC, Benedict Arnold's? Well, we could do that, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so state fairs only happen in the state, and that would be accurate, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had 3 guys were convicted of trespassing in the Crazy Mountains. We had a little thing about the Crazy Mountains a few days ago that we talked about. So now these guys are some of the trails, I guess. The Crazy Mountains are kind of crisscrossed with private property and public land and whatever. So some of the trails go across public property. So these guys have been doing this before. They got charged last year with it. And so anyway, the sentence carries up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine, but I doubt if they'll do any jail time. So. But anyway, in October of 2018, the 3 were hiking along the Porcupine Low-Line Trail when they wandered into private property, and they were all employees of the Livingston Enterprise paper at the time. One of the guys still works there. And the trail they were hiking is mapped by the U.S. Forest Service. A separate lawsuit filed by a coalition of conservation groups is asking the U.S. Forest Service to protect public access rights on the trail, which crosses private land. And I doubt if you want people strewing empty beer cans and dog poop on your private property, because, if people all acted responsibly, it would probably not be a big deal. But I think the private landowners have I want to know who's on my land and when and what they're doing here.
Especially those pesky animals, like bears and deer.
Well, yeah, it's bad enough you got those guys coming, but
yeah, unidentified without names.
Yeah. All right, we got to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you about the big the FBI raid in Belgrade right after this. 4 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Thursday, July 18th, 2019, 54 degrees outside, looking for a high of 77 today. And the FBI raided a chiropractor in Belgrade. Federal agents raided the pro chiropractic offices at Jackrabbit Lane and also the ones on West Main in Bozeman. And but all I said was we're on official business with an armed guy with an AR-15 or an automatic weapon standing at the door.
Standing outside, yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's tax fraud.
No, I don't think so either. No,
if you got the armed guard out there. But anyway, according to the website, IRS criminal investigations could include anything from alleged tax crimes, financial crimes, narcotics, counterterrorism.
Wow.
And could be abusive tax schemes and employment tax fraud. Could be anything there. So, But anyway, we'll keep you apprised of this. Around noon Wednesday, agents wearing IRS and police federal agent T-shirts went in and out of the Belgrade building as a man holding an assault rifle stood at the entrance. Several unmarked SUVs were parked in front of the office with license plates from Utah, Washington, Colorado, Idaho, and Wyoming. So I don't think it's a small deal.
Well, with Crazy Gate and everything that's now come to pass, I mean, this is unbelievable what's happening. You know that we don't talk about it enough. We should. Yeah. But now everybody used to want to have a FBI jacket, with the big yellow FBI on it.
Right. Yeah.
To wear around to, scare friends or a Halloween gag or whatever. Now nobody wants to have it, right? Like,
yeah. Pretty amazing. From our text line, they raided the place in Bozeman too. Yeah, I just mentioned that on Main Street where they are, and just like that, the media stopped talking about Epstein and Trump, and we're talking about Trump and 4 congresswomen. Well, we're going to talk about that at the top of the hour. Big Trump rally last night. I don't know if you saw that, Shane, but quite a.
Well, the other thing that's coming down, because remember, the Democrats are going to have a heck of a time dealing with what's coming. Mm-hmm. And you notice who's not. The 3 Stooges are gone. Have you noticed that? Clapper, Brennan, and Comey.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I haven't seen them on CNN or MSNBC for like 6 weeks, almost 2 months. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, they got to come up with something between now and this Inspector General's report on the FISA warrant or whatever, because it's not going to be pretty, Tom. It's not going to be pretty.
Maybe not, but well, we've also got some Livingston news we got to talk about as well. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff.
Our neighbors, we got to talk about,
well, of course we do.
Jones is trying to keep up with us.
That's right. All right. We got to duck out of here, and we've got Fox News, we've got the Montana State News, and Brooke Foster weather, and we'll just have all kinds of fun here at the top of the hour. So. Stay tuned. We still got 2 more hours to go, so we'll be back with a lot of stuff. Hey, don't forget, if you want to spend an evening with Tom and Shane, let's do it. Let's do it. Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
I'm nervous. I just
every time I mention this get together, Shane shakes his head and throws his hands up, and I don't know what's going on with you, man.
I'm nervus. I want it to go off. I think we'll have fun. We got to figure out a program.
Well, I've figured out a program, so.
Oh, you have?
I have, yeah. We'll be right back. I'll tell you all about it. Welcome back, everyone. It's 5 minutes after the hour. It's Thursday, July 18, 2019, 56 degrees outside. Shane Matobin on the line with me, Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor, and this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox, as Dan so eloquently pronounced. So.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Well, as I started to tell everybody at the end of the hour about our July evening with Tom and Shane, which will be July 26th, a Friday night, 6 p.m. We'll be at the Grand Tree. And
that's next Friday.
That's next Friday. Yeah. That's a week from tomorrow.
Gosh, I can count that many days ahead.
I know. It's a week from tomorrow that we will be live and in person, both of us, at the Grand Tree. And we would like for you to RSVP if you would, because we want to have adequate seating for everyone. We don't want people, standing out in the foyer, so, peeking through the door. So we want to make sure everybody has a seat. So go to KMMSAM.com and look on the What's Hot bar, and you'll see an evening with Tom and Shane. You can RSVP there. You can also do it with our app chat on your smartphone. You can do it over there. And you can do it on the text line. But the RSVP at the website or on the phone is the best way, because that all goes into one hopper. So right. We can get an accurate count of folks. So if you want to attend and have an evening with us, a little meet and greet, question and a Q&A, and a little history about the both of us and things like that. Any questions? We're pretty much open books, other than our police records and Shane's in the witness protection program, of course, so we can't.
Of course, I am.
Can't give you his real name. So
that's right. I have more problems than you could possibly
that's
imagine.
Yeah. He could tell you all about the Canadian healthcare system if you want.
Oh yeah.
That would be a show in itself, the Canadian healthcare. So we'll be happy to do that. So. But anyway, please RSVP. Go over to KMMSAM.com or on your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS and get the app. You need the app. You really do.
Okay, now I want to qualify something. If Friday night's successful.
Yes.
Okay. Like, you're saying 50 people show up. I think.
Well, we got a room for 50,
I know, but if 50 people show up, then you and I are on Sunday going to do.
We're going to the warming hut at down on Industrial Drive.
Right.
Yeah. They're having a barbecue, cookout, whatever. We're not going to be on the radio there, but we'll just be there.
No, we're going for the free food and the signed t-shirt.
After we spring for a night of food, we've got to get free food. So we won't have any money left after we feed 50 people. So.
That's so funny.
Yeah, this isn't a station-sponsored event, by the way.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, they're not as excited as we are to do this.
Yeah, I know. But
they're not sure what we're going to do. So.
Well, I hope people respond.
Plus, we don't even have the job, so.
Yeah, that's right.
They're a little nervous about what's going to happen here. So. Yeah, so I don't know, but anyway. In local news from Livingston City Commissioners unanimously voted down a request by a Bozeman developer to rezone a 5.6 acre parcel on the north side of the city during a marathon meeting Tuesday night. The new zoning of R3 would have allowed developers to build 14 four-unit apartment buildings or fourplexes boasting 56 units total. And the two developers said previously if the zoning would change, or if the zoning was not approved, they would build duplexes, which are permitted under the R2 zoning regulation currently of that particular land there. So after a presentation from the developers, the commission listened to hours of public comment, the vast majority of which was in opposition to the project. So we'll see if they go with the two.
Aren't you looking for new low housing, like costs and stuff?
Well, I don't know that this is going to be low-cost housing. Let's see. They said they would hesitate to throw out an estimate of monthly rentals because of market fluctuations and rising cost of building material and labor. Insinuating monthly rent could be more than $1,000 a month. So that's pretty hefty,
Well, not
amount of rent.
Not if you have 5 or 6 people in the house. I mean,
Well, if they're all working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got 5. What do you think it's going to be? Laborers, fruit pickers? They're going to live there?
In a low-cost college dorm.
I see. So they're going to live in Belgrade, or they're going to live in Livingston, drive 25 miles to school.
Of course.
Yeah, right.
Millennials, they've got their own cars.
Of course they do. Of course they do. What was I thinking?
What were you thinking?
I don't know. Well, the city of Livingston, they've got a new $19.5 million water reclamation facility. They opened it to the public Tuesday during a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The 2-year project was partially funded through grants provided by the United States Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Clean Water Act, State Revolving Fund, and the Department of Commerce, Treasury, State Endowment Program, and the Montana Department of Natural Resources, Renewable Resource Grants, and Loan Programs. I'm beat.
Wow, that was exhausting.
I can't say all that.
You talked more about it in that rant right there than we have in 3 years.
I know. It'd be easier if I told you who wasn't involved.
Exactly.
Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Whoops, maybe not. All right. Let's see. From our text line, at North Carolina rally, Trump tells businessmen, "You're going to vote for me, or you're going to be so poor." You're going to be so poor. Okay, I can't. It's one of the 8 words I can't say.
GD poor.
Yeah,
GD
yeah, I'm
poor.
going to be GD poor. Yeah, that's right. So. I don't know. We'll talk about the rant later on in the show, but or the rally, I should say. Well, I guess it was a rant.
Yeah, it was all right.
Anyway, let's take a phone call, or let's try to take a phone call again. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Calling you on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, so you're against those private landowners and the crazies being made to let people walk across their land onto more public land?
Oh, I'm not in favor of it. No, as I said, I don't think the public landowner wants beer cans and dog poop and everything else on his land or her land.
Well, so what if all the private landowners in town took that same stance and got rid of their sidewalks?
Well, sidewalks are open to the public.
Well, but they're private property. You have to maintain them. You own them. You have to install them. They're private property.
Mm-hmm.
So all it is a city ordinance saying that you have to allow people access across your private property. What's the difference between that and making a state ordinance saying that you have to allow people access across your private property in the mountains? I don't see the difference. Private property is private property.
Well, I would say you make a good case. I would tend to agree with you. Because people do dump dog poop in my yard, and
well, and this is the problem with it. All these ranchers went around and said, "Well, we have private property rights," but they don't. They don't have private property rights. We pay their taxes for them. Well, I mean, I do because I don't have agricultural taxation. But so that's my point there. But hey, God bless Trump for telling that Somali broad to get out, huh?
Yeah, that's what. Well, he said if you don't like, America, you can leave.
Well, she hates America, and now she's out there. So as soon as that all goes away, she starts ripping on Israel again.
Yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi, she's not going to condemn her for that bit of racism, but it is racism, and everybody knows it. Trump's a friggin' genius. Well, he might even be smarter than me. I don't know. I mean, I'm just putting that out there.
I don't know.
That statement, though, that one of them made last week, what was it? We don't want any black faces that don't want to support black talk, or we don't want, and then we don't want any gay faces that don't support gay talk. I mean, what a racist statement to make about people. These people, I'd hate to be a member of the Democratic Party thinking about running. Even if I thought I was in a safe seat, I would think it not being worried about running.
Well, Trump really put the pressure on Pelosi to rein these 4 in, and they aren't going to be reined in. And as long as he keeps the conversation going, nobody's talking about the 24 candidates.
Yeah. The demolition squad is live and well. What's that?
Who did he put pressure on?
On Pelosi to rein these 4 gals in. Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, she's the former Speaker of the House. AOC is the Speaker of the House now.
Yeah. Trump totally positioned those 4 dork broads into the face of the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. It's brilliant. Politically, what he did was brilliant.
And everybody's thinking that he got his ass whooped yesterday, and they couldn't even impeach. You can't impeach a president for being a racist.
I know.
It's a high crime and misdemeanor.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. It's just.
Why would you even bring that up?
Because they're desperate.
That Green, he couldn't have done a better job making an ass out of himself than what he did.
Here's what I think. Here's my call. There is so much devastation and news coming in the next 60, 90 days about the Democratic Party and the 2016 election. The people at the top know it. They're trying to keep their head low, powder dry, and so they probably had a plan that when to try and control the news cycle when all this comes out, that they would do certain things. And of course, they didn't inform these 4 people of the squad what their plan is, because they don't want to get out what they're doing, because they have to be planning something. They got to come up with something as a cover story, because it's going to be bad. Anyway, having said that,
I agree with you 100%.
And having said that, in the meantime, these 4 are virtually taking over the news cycle. And like, do you know what it's like to get an interview on CBS? I mean, none of the people running for president have even done that yet.
Well, I don't know, man. I think Trump needs to send that Omar back to Gitmo. And
Back to Gitmo.
I mean, I really do. I think she's a terrorist. You know, she comes from the district that she was elected in has the highest rate of terrorist activity in the nation, right?
Mm.
Well, she's the one from Minnesota. Is that the one?
No, Google that, Shane. Check that out, Shane. I believe
what's the one from Missoula, Tom? I should be looking at this. Hold on.
Hang on, I'll tell you.
Okay. I'll tell my story while he's looking up who it is. So the congressman from Minnesota is from a district that's being investigated by the Minnesota Police and State Attorney's Office for defrauding the state of over $600 million in child care costs.
Yeah, Ilhan Omar is from Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, she's from a district within what's the big city? Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Yeah, she's got a district in Minneapolis.
Isn't that the highest rate of terrorist activity in the nation, or is that?
Well, it's not so much terrorist activity, but they've stolen like $600 million from the state. They have it on video, and to this point, because they've been investigating it now for a year. Tom, we talked about this a year ago.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And nobody,
right,
a lot of the money.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the call. Yeah, go ahead, Shane.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, a lot of the money that they've stolen, they sent over to, terrorist groups. Like, this is scary stuff.
Yeah. All right, we will continue more with local and whatever after this. Stay tuned. A lot more to come on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. All right, it's 21 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It is Thursday, July 19th, 2019, 59 degrees outside. Shane Matavin, half man, half amazing, is in Vancouver, British Columbia, and he will be live and in person with me a week from this Friday, the 26th, at the Grand Tree at 6 p.m. And we would like for you to go to KMMSAM.com or your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS and RSVP. We need to know how many people are there so we can have proper seating for you and all of that. So please, if you are planning to attend, by all means, let us know who's coming and how many people, and we will have adequate seating for you for this gala event. It will be something. So. New living from our text line 478-8298. New Livingston ain't cheap. The Northtown development that they want R3 has duplexes and the smallest single-family homes starting at $360,000. So, you got that going for you.
That's right.
Let's see. Also from our text line, Lindsey Graham in 2015, Donald Trump is a race-baiting xenophobic bigot. And Lindsey Graham in 2018, he's not, in my view, a racist by any stretch of the imagination. I have never heard him make a single racist statement, not even close. So, Lindsey kind of flip-flopping there a little bit.
You think?
I think.
I don't know.
Because I looked up the quote. Sometimes when people put these quotes out, they're not exactly accurate, but I did look up the quote while we were on break, and that's why I was a little late with the music. But anyway, let's see what else we got going on over in Livingston. There must be other things going on over there. I mean, it's a vibrant. At least in state news anyway, the Governor Bullock in the state of Montana finally reached a deal over his security detail. He was having the state cops of Montana all around with him. And so now the campaign committee is going to pay for the cops to guard him. And so they finally worked that out, and they're going to be reimbursed whatever whatever costs they had and their lodging, meals, and whatever is going to be on the campaign. So
that's under the Federal Elections Commission's guidelines that any candidate using state or federal fund or equipment, planes, boats, whatever, cars, or people, they have to cover the cost from their campaign of those things.
Sure.
But what's amazing is it's like, de Blasio not being in New York last, Friday night when the blackout wasn't there?
Yeah.
He was in Iowa at a barbecue.
Yeah, well. Well, I'm sure he phoned someone.
But it's one of those moments, as a leader of a city or a state where he can't ever leave? Well, no, he's the mayor of the biggest city in the United States.
But he's running for the presidency with no polling at all, and he's on the debate stage. Right. Come on.
Yeah, do it long distance, like by Skype, like we do.
Well, what are all 24 of them supposed to rush back to wherever they are if there's some kind of disaster?
Well, in his case, he's only going to get 24 people on Skype to talk to him.
Well, okay. There you go. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, thanks for waiting. You're on the air. What's going on?
Morning, guys. Triple B.
Hey.
Hey, I just had a comment about your last text that you had come in about Lindsey Graham's comments.
Yes.
So my opinion on that is that I think if maybe the Democrats could possibly admit that they were wrong once in a while, like Lindsey Graham probably would admit that he was wrong about Trump. I admit I'm wrong on a daily basis to my wife.
Yeah, me too.
And it helps things go smoother. It helps.
No, wait. Let me back up and help you out here. It's not that you're wrong. It's she's always right.
She is always right. I agree on that.
Yeah.
Because the two most important words in your relationship are "yes, dear."
Well, it seems, exactly. It seems their position on everything is set in stone. They can't change their minds. The ones that have changed their minds have left the Democratic Party altogether.
They have. Yeah.
They can't admit they're ever wrong on anything, and so they're just stuck in that position. How do you get out of that position when you refuse to admit you were ever wrong about anything?
Well, between the debates that the 24 people running for president have had, and then what these women have said, and then Trump getting to identify them as the Democratic Party, because basically the debate, all those people agreed with what these four women are saying. It's like a death knell for the Democratic Party for next year. It really is. Tom's right. He's got it called. Make Trump a victim, and you lose the election.
Exactly.
Yep. Is that easy?
That's what I got.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you are on the air with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning, Debbie, my Polish princess.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Some friend of mine mentioned that we live 10 miles from Bozeman.
Yes.
I think that's clever. 10 miles from Montana.
Oh, okay. Bozeman is 10 miles from Montana.
That's right.
Correct.
There we go. Okay.
That's clever.
That may be true, too.
Yeah. At least, is it now more like Bozeman with all these breweries opening up? But anyway, I'd like to mention something about these four gentes in the Democratic Congress. What they all have in common, am I saying this? Yes. The pure envy and jealousy of the white race. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel. It's more of this inner city blame, hate this, and it's our fault because of the predicament that they're in and blah, blah. I don't think any of them have any intelligence. They don't blame the Democrats for the poor state of the inner city schooling. Oh, no. It's just more like a family squabble against the white minority? I don't know. But the only one with a bit sense in her brain is, what's her name? This half Indian, half Jamaican.
I don't know which one that is, but I'm running out of time. I got to go, darling.
The pretty one. Pretty one.
Oh, Tulsi Gabbard?
No, you're talking about one of it.
Okay.
The Demolition Squad. I think you're talking about Presley, maybe.
Okay, gotta go. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about...
23 minutes for the top of the hour. Shane, you still talking to the Polish princess?
Said goodbye.
Oh, she did. Oh. Let's see from our text line. Let's see. Don't say socialism or communism. It's all Marxism. Question. How can you tell a Democrat is lying? You don't need evidence they're Democrats. Of course they're lying. That's from Bob. You don't need to see their lips moving or anything, I guess, huh? All right. Let's see. Response to Aaron's call. Aaron needs to think again if he thinks he's paying the taxes for farmers and ranchers in the state. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't talk. That's from Jason. I believe Aaron did say he doesn't pay agricultural taxes, as he was commenting. So maybe may have missed that, but I think he realizes he doesn't pay for farmers and ranchers out there. So
that's right.
All right. Let's see. Well, we talked about Bullock reaching his thing there. Senator Daines has raised $1.3 million for his campaign. Williams, the other candidate, or the candidate on the Democrat side, has raised $430,000. So that's where we stand at the moment. Kathleen Williams, couldn't remember the name right off the top of my head. Tom Winters has $133,635, and Matt Rosendale $269,000. Corey Stapleton $108,000. So I'll bring you up to speed on who's got the money and who doesn't. So.
Steve Daines was on Fox last night.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's been making the rounds. We hope that he will. Boy, on a sad note, a man drowns in the river trying to save a dog. Three people hopped in, and the dog was. They were throwing a stick out in the water, I guess, for the dog to retrieve, and they threw it too far, and the dog got in the current, and away it went. And they found the guy's body and the dog later drowned, of course. Unfortunately, really sad to both people and animals. Animals are part of the family for a lot of folks.
But this is common sense. I mean, if you spend any time on a river,
you should
there are long, calm moments in a river. Then there are rapids. Then there are bigger rapids, which end up into a pool at the front end of a long, maybe more rapids to a waterfall or whatever, but. There are areas on a river that you can safely take a dog without being in rapids.
Right.
And, it's one of those things you may want to read about. Read about rivers. You can do it on Wikipedia. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably you may have had people that don't get out in the wilderness often, and that don't realize what's going on, and the dog certainly doesn't know. And you've got, hindsight's always 20/20, of course, when these things happen. You always regret that, but
of course.
I think it's commendable that three people jumped into the water and tried to save this dog. That certainly, says a lot about the type of people they are. And,
it is the Gallatin Valley.
Well, that's true. Yeah. We value our pets here quite a bit.
And your people.
The people, too, obviously. Right. On that note, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back right after these important words. 17 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Thursday, July 18, 2019, 62 degrees outside. We're looking for a high in the mid-70s. And Shane Matabin on the line with me, Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor, and the KMMS Morning Soapbox is on the air, and we are getting some invitations or some RSVP, Shane, on the text line, and also on the Reverend Mike is coming, Patricia's coming, a couple other people are coming, so If you want to attend the big gala of Tom and Shane, an evening with Tom and Shane at the Grand Tree a week from Friday, the 26th at 6 p.m., we're going to be there live and in person, both of us. Like it or not, in spite of your cards, letters, and phone calls, we are going to be there. So there you go. And we'd like for you to RSVP so we can have proper seating for you. And you can do that very easily by going to KMMSAM.com and look on the What's Hot bar for an evening with Tom and Shane. Click on that. Give us your name and how many people are coming. And we will have adequate seating for you between now and Friday, hopefully. So the other, you can also go to our AM 1450 KMMS app chat. You can go over there on your smartphone and register there, RSVP there. You can also do it on our text line, and you can also do it on app chat on your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS. And make sure you get the app so that you have weather alerts of what's going on around the area. You can turn off the alerts so that you don't get an alert in the middle of the night, or you don't get an alert on weekends if you don't want it on the weekends or whatever. So it's pretty cool, you get all these things. So let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Are we reliving the past? I thought there was a TV show called The Mod Squad.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't all that great, and now this Mod Squad today, they're the one piece again. So I don't know why anybody even listens to them.
Yeah.
And they don't know the difference between, love it or leave it, right? And everything's
That's right.
so racism. Well, there is no racism in what Trump said. And I don't know. It's kind of a joke listening to those girls. But anyways, I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call.
I think a lot of it has to do with your media. They're grabbing at straws. You and I both have talked about this.
Well, they're news making. Race is news, and as we've said many times, that throwing out the race card every time somebody disagrees with you dilutes that. When real racism does raise its head, there's no the ammo is not there. It's all powder, no shell.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the other thing too, it's so amazing about this, it's July.
Mm-hmm.
The people are only picking this up bits and pieces, maybe on their Facebook page or what. But for the most part, they're out with their families, they're barbecuing, they're playing with their kids, or they're having water balloon fights and swimming in the pool or going to the park, or they got plans every day, and they it's like. There was an impeachment, on the floor of the House last night. What?
Yeah.
Oh, because they say he's a racist. They want to impeach him because he's a racist? Like, what? It's crazy. It's crazy gate, baby.
Well, the other thing to think about, as I said before, they're not going to impeach Trump. This vote was no surprise to me because that would be the destruction of the Democratic Party. The other thing is, and this is really interesting, Shane, they are in session 49 more days this year. That's it. 49 more days they're in session, and then they're done for the year.
For the year.
Yeah. So they're all going to be out. They're all going to be out campaigning the rest of the time.
That's right.
Because the primaries start in Iowa, I think, starts in December.
February, isn't it?
No. New Hampshire used to be first in January.
Oh, that's right, in January.
Yeah, and Iowa does that caucus. They got in front of New Hampshire, and so they'll do a couple.
In the last quarter alone, Trump raised 125 million, more than all the rest of them combined. Now, this is important because they're going to spend all that money fighting each other in the primary.
That's why I say just like Trump was the last bleeding, standing human after the 17 Republicans, you're going to have the last bleeding, standing Democrat after 24 of them get done with each other.
Yeah, but he won the nomination in 2016, spending $75 million. Hillary spent $670 million trying to beat Bernie in the primary, just in the primary.
I understand that.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, but the issue is going to be with this many Democrats, the money is going to dry up for some of these people pretty quickly.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, I mean, some of these folks have the money to go the extra distance. De Blasio probably does. You know, there are a couple others on there. Yeah, he's in New York. Come on. He may not have any poll numbers, but
lots of friends. Huh?
Well, Tom Steyer certainly has the money to keep going. So
the coal baron.
Yeah. Well, he only gave $95 million to the Democratic Party to defeat Trump. $95 million of the 600. I mean, that's 1/6 of Hillary's money.
But Tommy, it's like Kamala Harris. You know, how is she on the stage when her grandparents in Jamaica had slaves?
No one cares. No one in the Democratic Party cares. No one in the Democratic Party cares about that.
I know. And Biden, how does he stay on the stage as vice president? He walks out of China with $1.5 billion. Like, it's like, what's going on?
No one cares. No one cares in the Democratic Party. I mean, if it were reversed, no one in the Republican Party cared about Trump redlining real estate. No one cared about Trump lying every time he opens his mouth. No Republican cares about that stuff, Shane. I mean, come on.
Results, baby, right? Results.
When we're ensconced in a party, we don't care what they do.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't.
That's right.
You know, right. I mean, don't jump on the Democrats as the only ones that don't follow the party line. I mean, come on. I mean, I still can't believe Trump's president, but he is. You know, so and he beat up on everybody in the primaries. He got more votes than Reagan did in the primaries. So
that's right.
Yeah, leading vote getter. So,
all right. Go ahead.
I was just going to say we got to take another break, and we'll be right back right after these important words. So stay tuned. 6 minutes for the top of the hour. It is Thursday, July 18, 2016. The phone lines are lighting up. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Morning, Tom. Morning, Shane. It's Steve.
Hey.
Hi, Steve.
So you were saying earlier that we don't care about what our party does. And
I'm being generalized there that a lot of people will dismiss, particularly on the Democratic side, as Shane pointed out, they will dismiss, Kamala Harris having slaves or Beto O'Rourke having slaves or whatever. You know, I mean, and a lot of people dismissed Trump redlining real estate back in the 70s or 60s or whatever. You know, we just put those things aside because they're in the past, or we don't care.
Well, I don't think it's so much as putting aside or not caring, but you have two options. You have Democrat or you have Republican.
Correct.
That's the way it is. Yeah. So either you accept the fallacies of those, and you're one of two options, or you don't play the game.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of caring. I'm simply disgusted with our budget. Come on, Trump, big businessman. Now you're just, I almost cursed. Now you're just blowing money so poorly. Our deficit is grown faster and it's bigger than ever. What is going on?
Yeah, I agree with you. And
it's not that I don't care, but he's doing a lot of good things, and you just have to accept it.
Yeah,
that's how I feel, Tom. And I just wanted to.
No, that's fine. Yeah, and I would agree with you. During the first 2 years of Trump, Republicans controlled the purse strings, and they did the tax cuts that cost, and they did some other things that increased the budget. They increased the military, and all that stuff comes out as borrowed money. You're right.
Exactly, and I don't like Trump the man. I like Trump the president, and I think he's standing up. But it's not a matter of not caring. I mean, even in your very close personal relationships, there are some things about my loved one that I could wring her neck for. You
Sure.
know?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt she's the same about, but we accept those things as part of the package.
Amen.
It's not that we don't care.
Well, next time you think about that, just twist an ankle, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, General, that's all I want to say.
All right. Hey, thanks
You have a great day.
And I'll see you next Friday.
All right, great. All right, we're looking forward to it. All right, take it easy. All right. As I said, next month I'll be married 37 years. And, as I've said many times on the show, we have a successful marriage because we both think an awful lot of me. So that's how it's successful. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
I'm really impressed with that.
That's
right. Very good.
I know. We are up there.
That's called house maintenance.
That's right. From our text line, 478-8298, after Trump's attack rant, how long do you think it will be before someone tries to take out these congresswomen? Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. We don't want violence against anyone, but certainly, I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. We don't condone it here, obviously.
Well, Cortez is not going to go uncontested. An African-American woman, announced her candidacy for Congress in the Republican Party in her Brooklyn district.
Yeah.
So she's got a challenger now. And it'll be very interesting to say how that follows, because they will follow it. Because glory be, if things turn out, potentially what everyone's saying about the election, it would be something if one or all four of these women lost their seats.
Yeah. Well, I would think Cortez is pretty much unbeatable in her district. It's heavily Democrat, very heavily Democrat.
I know, anything's possible.
Well, it could happen. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it depends on what she does between now and then.
If I was a Democrat, and I think this is a fair and unbiased opinion, if I was a Democrat living in her district and she took away 25,000 jobs from my district that, with an average salary of 150 grand, I would never vote for her again.
Well, that wasn't going in her district. It was going in Long Island. You talk about Amazon, right? Yeah, that wasn't going to be built in her district, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway.
Okay, well, wherever it was going to be located.
Yeah, she was against it, and in many cases, she was instrumental in getting it out of there.
Yeah.
For some negative stuff. So anyway, and I think New York tried to get them back, and they may still come back. I don't know, but anyway, we'll see. All right, we got to go. We still got a full hour of open lines left. We're going to move over to the 5 things you need to know, and all of that. So we'll be back right after this. So stay tuned. It is 6 minutes after the hour. It's Thursday, July 18, 2019, 66 degrees outside, and we have a caller already on the line, Shane. So let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Good morning, caller. You're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Well, a few things there, Thomas.
Oh, man. Happy Thursday to you, too.
According to the FBI, Omar's district in Minnesota is the U.S. Center for Recruitment of Terrorists. And I guess it has been for a while, because that's from the FBI. Take it or leave it. They've been known to lie here lately. And, the problem I have with the Odd Squad is if they want to go over after the president, go ahead. He has the pulpit, he has a voice, and, he can rebut. But when they attack or put down or insult the American people, that's a different story to me. I mean, they said some.
Mm-hmm. You still there? Yep, I think we may have lost him. I
can hear him.
Oh, I don't know who we're hearing, but I don't know.
Well,
we don't have anybody else on the line, so I'm not sure who we're hearing unless it's Shane making noise.
On the line.
Yeah. All right. What's up? Keep going, Pete. Sorry.
Well, okay. and you just had a text about, the way Trump is talking about these gals is, somebody's going to try to take their life or what, ever. Haven't we had a few ICE attacks because of after the Dems condemned them?
Oh, sure.
Antifa, they're a nice group of people, right?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, they're out to eliminate fascism from our lives.
Right.
More power to them.
By using fascism.
Yeah, right. Yeah, by using fascism, they're... Well, if they're the only ones left, they can quit. See,
Tom, I'll end with this. Yeah. I think you can really up your numbers for the 26th.
Yeah.
If you have an open bar for the first hour.
Well, I would say so, but the station, the station will not condone alcohol anyway. However, there will be a bar there. You can go get your own, but we can't serve any. So, yeah.
Years ago, I went to a contractor's thing that a big supplier put on. And they put it on in a golf course in what they called, it was in Massachusetts, they called the mirror room.
Yeah.
And we're sitting down. There was 300 contractors and their employees there at this event. And one of the other contractors commented to me, he says, it must cost these guys a ton of money, he says, to put on a steak feed like this. I said, believe me, I said, the bar tab will dwarf the steak feed.
I know, yeah.
By thousands of dollars.
We're suggesting everybody get bombed before they come.
Hey, get a little CBD oil and a few Budweisers.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. I want to see the parking lot where everybody's just kind of there.
Watch them walk in, then you can.
You're right. Yeah.
Come early and party in the parking lot.
That's right. Yeah. Tailgate.
Yeah. Tailgate party at 4:00.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, enjoy the sunshine. Get a little vitamin D, and
that's right.
We'll
gotta do it.
Catch you on the rebound.
All right, man. Thanks for the call.
You bet.
All right. Yeah, we got some more folks that have RSVP'd on our text line and also on our RSVP at KMMSAM.com, so we're happy about that. Let's see. From our text line, 478-8298, from what I'm hearing, you may need more chairs next Friday and more and more than chips and water. Well, you may be right. You may be right. I don't know what we're going to have there.
Yeah, all right. We'll have chips, dips, and water.
Yeah. From our text line, tribalism makes us tolerate liars in our own party. Tribalism trumps truth. Tell us comforting lies. We'll cheer it on. And there you are. Hey, as long as you tell me what I want to hear, I'm a happy guy.
Somebody that got a degree in sociology.
Amen. Right for that. Oh, let's see. From our text line, when Trump complains about America's problems, instead he should go back to New York where he came from and fix that place. Hashtag hypocrisy. Liberty means anything at all. If liberty means anything at all, it means that the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. George Orwell, the fact that so many successful politicians are such shameless liars is not only a reflection on them, it's also a reflection on us. When the people want the impossible, only liars can satisfy, and that's from Thomas Sowell. So
I got to mention this because I think it's important. The two greatest builders in the last 30 years in the United States was Wynn in Las Vegas and Trump in New York, because both of them proved to everybody in those cities you could go big. You could build a big building and it would be successful.
There you go.
I don't know what everybody's saying about Trump.
There we go. Here's a suggestion from our text line. Shay, maybe this will work. On the 26th, just put out a tip jar.
Oh, geez.
We'll see if anybody will put anything in the chip jar to chip in for the food.
I'm going to bring a mail jar. It's about how big it would be.
Oh, right? Yeah? All right.
Yeah. One of those mail jars from the Academy Awards where they kept all the secret ballots.
That's right. Yeah, one of those big things. Yeah, one of those jobs. All right. Blast through omission means not emphasizing the squad's bigoted statements. That's from Al from our text line. and we appreciate that very much. And that clears up our text line. Let's see, over on our message history here, let's see what we got. We got 2 people coming to the get-together. I'd like to confirm my participation in next week's soiree, and there will be 2 of us coming to your event at the Grand Tree. That's from our app chat line. So
Excellent.
We're happy to entertain those folks. And let's see, we have people that are trying to call us on our text line, which is not a call line, it's a text line. The left calls us xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, racist morons, and none of it true of real conservatives. Maybe we need to come up with our own phobia for the left that describes them as the USA hating, socialist loving, liberal liars that they are. So there you go.
Lost phobia.
Yeah. Demophobia.
Yeah, demophobia. There you go.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's move over to 5 things you need to know because, the first thing you need to know, of course, President Trump did his rally last night in North Carolina. I'm amazed the number of people that turn out to see him. It's just,
yes.
Yeah,
it's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, he was saying last night that Biden had 150 people. That's the same number as in the front row here.
I know, exactly.
That was pretty funny.
It was, yeah.
But
yeah. And I like, they beat him up a lot. But the first thing he started out with was his comment about that impeachment resolution.
Yeah.
Which sorely went down from Representative Green. 332 to 95.
Yeah.
Every Republican voted 137. So that means, most of the Democrats did except for 95.
Yeah.
And he complimented him. And he said, that was really great. I appreciate what the Democrats did. And, they were, I believe, right. Because obviously, why would you impeach me? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, the impeachment process is not, it ain't a day-long deal. You thought the Mueller investigation was long? Do you remember how long Clinton's impeachment was?
2 years.
Yeah. You have witnesses, they call witnesses, you interrogate witnesses, and and the trial in the Senate, with the Chief Justice in the helm. Yeah.
In the Vice President or the President of the Senate seat.
Yeah.
That was 3 months. 3 months.
Oh yeah. So there's no way. I mean, they can impeach him all day long if they want to, but it ain't going to happen before the election.
No. And
particularly when they only got 49 days left in this session this year.
Right. And when Pelosi came out with that resolution, to say that the use of racism is a terrible thing, blah, 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 blah. And, and then someone asked her during the interview after it, what are you doing about the budget? And she said, well, we have to work backwards because, we only have till next Friday. And then we postpone, we go home. Yeah. But like you and I have talked before, it's incredible how overnight you can come up with this resolution about racism, right? And put it on the floor to vote. But, when it comes to real government action that needs to be done in your country, right? Yeah. Oh, it's going to take a week. We got to go through all kinds of,
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It is sad. From our text line, 478-8298, the left has a fear of saltine crackers, so maybe we should serve saltines at the event. Okay, I've missed it. What's going on the 26th? Well, Shane and I are going to be live and in person at the Grand Tree at 6 p.m. on Friday the 26th. So we invite everybody to RSVP over at KMMSAM.com or on the text on our app chat at AM 1450 KMMS, or you can RSVP on the text line or email us, or any way you can get us there, call us on the phone, whatever. So we want to make sure. So again, that's the 26th, 6 p.m. at the Grand Tree. We'll be in the highlight room. That's on the convention center side on the back of the Grand Tree. So there's parking around back. And we've had a caller patiently waiting. So let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you are on the air.
Hey, this is old Charlie.
Charlie, how you doing, man? You coming on the 26th?
But I think we need a barricade between California and Montana.
Well, that would work. Yeah.
I'm not afraid of, I'm not afraid of restricting criminals like MS-13 and all that kind of crap. What I'm afraid of is the amount of stupidity coming out of California.
That's true.
I was down there in Berkeley about 50, 60 years ago or so with a postdoc.
Yeah.
And I thought that was I told the guy there then, I said, if we could put a 10 over this pound of Berkeley, we could sell it and then move it up to Montana. We could sell admission.
There you are.
Even getting better. Did you hear the latest?
That's right.
The City Council of Berkeley has passed a resolution eliminating all types of gender names whatsoever.
Yeah. No pronouns. No he, she, or it. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
No manholes, no manpower, none of that stuff. It's all gender non-specific. And
all right. I guess it's a street hole, huh?
Yeah, no, it's a
boulevard hole.
And brothers and sisters are no more. They are siblings.
Ooh.
Siblings,
yeah.
I'm concerned about this thing. Maybe some of that stupidity will get into our city council because they're not too far from that. So
apparently not. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that maybe we better start worrying about the borders between California and Montana, and then we have to get sanctuary in Idaho to get in here.
That's right. Well, I'm sure the next governor, whoever it is, will put a wall at our southern border.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Slow this down. All right, man. Thanks, Charlie.
Hey, have a good one, partner.
All right, take care.
Okay,
right.
So we got to talk about this because the same time yesterday, the House voted to hold Barr and Ross in contempt. Again, they can write this up, get it on the floor, and it passed 230 to 198. Now, this is crazy. This contempt resolution was because they're claiming that these two gentlemen didn't hand over documents related to Trump's attempt to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. Well, there's not going to be a question. They've already decided it. Wow, that's amazing. They're accusing them of something that's not going to happen. What? Oh, come on, explain that to me. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would if I could.
I wish you would, because I'm looking at this like, what?
Well, the thing that everybody's missing is that Congress can do this, and if they subpoena somebody, where does it go? It goes to the Department of Justice. Who's the head of the Department of Justice? Bob Barr. Bob Barr will decide, I don't think this subpoena is going to work, so we're not going to send me over to talk to you.
Okay.
And also anybody else that you want from the DOJ is not going over there either, so...
Right.
So this is ceremonial at best.
You're asking me to self-incriminate myself. Well, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, from our text line 478-8298, rectophobia. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know what that is, but recto, yeah.
Rectophobia. Yeah. Regarding Pete's comments, with all due respect, the Odd Squad and all the Dems are not doing anything that resembles their job. They are disgusting in their comments and should be fired and deported immediately. Well, I don't know if you can deport them. They're all citizens. I don't know if that works or not.
But if you had 4 Republicans doing this, they'd all be censured.
Oh, they would. No question. Yeah.
Of course, no question. Yeah.
Trump only built one building in New York. He buys other buildings and puts his name on them. He bought casinos in Atlantic City from others. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back. A little bit about the Gallatin County Fair and Walgreens and ZipRecruiter, of course. So we couldn't make it through without ZipRecruiter. I mean, come on, let's go. All right, we'll be right back. 24 minutes after the hour. It's Thursday, July 18, 2019, 68 degrees outside. I'd like to welcome all you conservatives to the show, you ignorant, racist, fascist, knuckle-dragging, NASCAR-obsessed, cousin-marrying, roadkill-eating, tobacco-juice-dribbling, gun-fondling, religious fanatic rednecks, and a warm welcome to all my liberal friends, you godless, unpatriotic, pierce-nosed, Volvo-driving, French-loving, left-wing, communist, latte-sucking, tofu-chumping, Holistic, wacko, neurotic, vegan, weenie perverts. We love you all. Shane and I are very happy to have all of you here.
And you forgot to mention, and the one Canadian that puts up with all of it.
That's right. The one Canadian that has no dog in the fight.
No dog in the fight.
That's it, man. It's got no dog in the fight. So, yeah, those are from Dave Barry, the little soliloquy there. So, let's see. 5 things you need to know. Well, of course, the big chant, of course, was send her back when, of course, that's supposed to put the Republicans in a bad light, that can't send people back. And I think we need to distinguish between what is racism and what is anti-American conversation. Just because it comes from someone who is another color doesn't necessarily mean that that person should be singled out as a racist. They should just be singled out for their comments.
Well, but you and I talked about this, and it was like a good 6 months ago. This is a reoccurring thing with the Democratic Party. The party of slavery, the party of Jim Crow, and the Civil War, and on and on. But, really, the word that should be thrown around, and I hope someone somewhere in your media picks it up, because we covered this, bigotry, all right? Intolerance towards those who hold a different opinion from oneself.
Right.
And what you're seeing isn't racism. It's just a bunch of bigotry. They're so intolerant of each other or other people that they're making, personal accusations and being demonstrative, and it's a sad commentary that CBS News had 4 bigots on their morning show, and that's what I think. That's the way I look at it with what they said. Some of those things that gal from CBS asked the 4 of them, they just ignored it, the premise of the question, or actually admitted to, oh no, I don't feel bad about the terrible things I've said about the country. Wow.
Or Israel or any place else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Whoops. Nope. No caller there. All right. Well, we'll persevere on. Well, in this story, this is from CNN, actually. And you can tell from the writing here what's going on. The Trump called him out by name during the rally. And let's see. On Sunday, he tweeted racist comments targeting them. According to who?
Yeah, exactly.
All
he was commenting about they don't like their country. That's what he was talking about.
And he's saying they need to go back to their home countries. End quote. What they need to do is go back to their own countries and clean them up, is what he said.
Right.
If you're unhappy here, go back to your home country and clean that country up. Then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
did you see the riots last night in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
I mean, there's some serious stuff happening in your country that should be dealt with and talked about. And these 4 women are just occupying the entire. They suck all the air out of the room. And your president, he loves it. I mean, you saw.
Well, as long as they're as long as he's on them and they're on him. The Democratic nominees are out of commission. The border children in cages is out of commission. The economy is doing great, and we've got deficits as far as the eye can see, but nobody's talking about that. So.
And this is important about the market, because we always talk about markers. Ones we can't control. So, he's pretty brilliant about it in that context, because there's nothing here that's going on that will infect the market.
Yep. Not really.
So
Yeah,
exactly.
All right. We'll be back. We still got a full half hour to go. Open lines. Don't forget our event on the 26th. We'll be at the Grand Tree Live at 6 p.m. RSVP us. 23 minutes before the top of the hour. It is Thursday, July 18, 2019. It is 68 degrees outside. We're looking for a high of 77 today. And Shane Matobin on the line with me from Vancouver. And Shane, the Tex folks are taking it out on you.
Uh-oh.
So glad that Shane does not have a dog in the fight. He sure sounds like a Republican to me, and it would shock you to know that the Democrats think the same things about the Republicans that they protest.
Yeah, that's right, basically.
Well, I would tell you that I don't remember a Republican congressman telling people to, if you see them in the grocery store or a gasoline station or this or that, get in their face and tell them they're not welcome here. And
That's
also,
right.
I can't think of a single instance where I've heard of a liberal speaker being shouted down by a group of conservatives at any university.
That's right, too.
So.
And again, the Democratic Party represents 33.6% of the electorate. The Republicans, 32.4% of the electorate. That's 66%. So your country isn't divided. There's three groups: Republicans, Democrats, and the group that's going to make the decision, the Independents, and they're 34%.
Yep.
So this is all about who gets the 34% or who pulls away from people from the other party.
Yep.
And that's where this is going. So we'll see.
Tell Shane there can't be any Democrat bigots. They're called conservatives. Bigots first, and being the childish, infantile whiners they are. I believe they said no callbacks. Steve-O and a beautiful female companion plan on attending the gala. If you can put up with me, we'll put up with anybody. So by all means, come on down. All right. We are there. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you are on the air. What's going on?
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Jerry. How are you?
Good, Jerry.
Good, Jerry.
Everything's fine. A beautiful day. Let me ask you a quick question. Two quick questions, Tom. You're not going to need a security detail for this thing next Friday, are you?
Well, boy, I don't know.
No, because we're going to have all the veterans coming and all the military people that have worked, and I have family members that live there, and they're packing. So hopefully
yeah, Shane and I will be packing. Yeah.
Not me. I can't.
I'm just wondering what they're going to be packing, though.
Yeah, well, that's true. You never know with the group that we attract.
And another question.
Sure.
I have to ask folks out there in the listening audience, and you, Tom, and Shane,
sure,
why is it these ladies are referred to as women of color?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. I don't see color in them.
Mm-hmm.
I just see.
You want to know why? I'll give you I thought about this for the last 3 days, and then it occurred to me. I had an epiphany. A person of color has now replaced the N-word.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, a person of color has now replaced the N-word. So that's where this comes from.
Well, I'm a person of color. I just don't have as much color as somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, but, I just don't understand it. They keep referring, and I think that's very divisive, in my opinion.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And I don't like the media constantly promoting this thing. These are women of color. These are women of color.
Mm-hmm.
And the hyphenated use of African American and Hispanic American. We're all American. If you can get if you can get that prefix out of there, that sure would help sort of unify a little bit of the conversation. But they just want to be divisive, and the media is leading the charge on this, in my opinion.
Well, they are. It's the anti-Trump thing, and that's that's where they're going with this. They're going to side with these women against Trump, and all they're doing is turning Trump into more of a victim than he. That he was with the impeachment, with the Mueller, and everything else. That they're trying to pile on him. And,
didn't Nancy Pelosi a little while ago say it's not worth it to impeach this president? Yet they all of a sudden they're passing a resolution to continue on with impeachment.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and apparently the Speaker of the House has no muscle at all.
Well, it didn't pass, and I think the reason it didn't pass is that all these people are up for re-election. Every one of them in the House is up for re-election. And they don't want this stigma following them along, because there are some people, as has been pointed out, we got the lowest African unemployment and women and Hispanic and Asian and everything else. And some of these people are saying, hey, I don't know, I just might vote for this guy. But if you come out here and start bitching about the way the economy's going, I may change sides.
And there's common sense issues, like this whole thing about asking on the census if you're an American citizen. You know, there's 2 pages that I've looked at. There's 2 pages of the census that deal with your nationality and your background and your history. You know, where are your grandparents from? Where are your parents from? You know, where are your great grandparents from?
Mm-hmm.
You know, are you consider yourself a Mexican, an African American? You know, like there's no way that the American government isn't going to get a good idea of how many Mexicans are in the United States. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, and I find it also, Shane, ironic that they want to bring Barr and I forgot the other person up in front of them for
Wilbur
something
Ross.
that isn't.
Wilbur Ross, yeah.
Yeah, the Commerce Secretary. Yeah, Wilbur Ross.
Yeah,
he's the Secretary.
Yeah, they want to bring them up for questioning on something that isn't even going to occur in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they still were questioning and had an investigation for something that didn't go on in the past.
I know.
So,
I don't get it. I
know.
Really don't.
They've got to get some press. They can't afford to give Trump wins. They just can't. You know, I mean, they've got to keep themselves in the forefront of the press doing these various investigations. All these people calling everybody in and whatever. We're going to have Mueller on the 24th, I think.
Oh, really? So, he's going to get there?
Yeah, I think that's what they tell me. So they were going to have it on the 17th, then they postponed it a week to, I guess, give him more time to not say anything.
Well, and I hope they don't ask him the question of when did you know this was a phony investigation, because he's going to lie about that.
Well, yeah, unless he says the first day.
That's going to be pretty tough. No, with the information that came out yesterday, that's going to be really tough for him to do. Yeah. Like, this is serious now, because now they have the FBI report and the review of that dossier. So now all gloves are off, baby. This is really serious.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, it makes them a do-nothing Congress for what is needed for the citizenry of this country. That's what
we're saying. You know, we got all this humanitarian stuff at the border. How come the Democrats, who are supposed to be for the people and for the immigrants, aren't doing anything about it? They're not doing any money. They're not sending any aid. They're not doing. I mean, Trump's sending troops down there to babysit these people, and we've had to pull people off of TSA at the airports. We've had to pull people off the checkpoints where people are coming in to be 24-hour babysitters.
Well, Tom, in the beginning it wasn't a crisis. Now it's a crisis.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? It's a lame duck Congress. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Good call, Shane. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks for the call. All right, we'll see you. Next Friday, or a week from Friday, not this Friday. So the 26th.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, 11 minutes for the top of the hour. It is Thursday, July 18th, 2019, 69 degrees tomorrow, or today. It'll probably be 69 tomorrow, too, sometime. I guess.
It's a great week. It's growing season, baby. Growing season.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Netflix stock fell more than 10% after the market closed Wednesday following the company's announcement that for the first time since launching its digital service 8 years ago, it saw a drop in U.S. subscribers.
Well, they have 154 million worldwide subscribers, 148 million paying. And I looked this up because I thought we might have time to talk about it. So they're increasing their monthly cost for their service from $13 to as much as $14 to $16 a month, depending on the package that you get. It's a wild-eyed, ridiculous view of this when they've done such an incredible job, because basically it's just monthly recurring cash flow. I mean, when you look at the revenue, it's almost $16 billion a year. Now, they use that for administrative costs to pay for royalties for, the content they have. but they're also investing in their own content to develop shows so that when streaming comes, they'll be ready. And I think this is an unfortunate issue for their stock, but I don't, I know that they lost some listeners, or I mean subscribers, but 126,000 subscribers out of 134 million. I don't think it warrants a drop in their stock.
Yeah, not too much there, but well, as we've talked about, a lot of folks are cutting the cable and they're going to these streaming services, and
Right.
These folks are paying big bucks to get various shows and things on their particular service. I've subscribed to Netflix myself, and Hulu, and Amazon, and what's the other one? Showtime.
Showtime, yeah.
I got to see Shameless. I mean, come on.
What
Well,
a show.
I don't know.
My dad-
Fiona's leaving, so I don't know if there's a reason to watch it or not. So.
I know, but my nephew got me to watch that. It was like, I can't believe I'm watching this on TV.
Oh, the Shameless?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. It's a great show. Yeah, they got 7 or 8 seasons. We got Homeland on there. We got Billions. Billions is pretty good. You might like Billions. You're a money guy.
Yeah, I've watched several of those episodes.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah,
Good,
they are
yeah.
good. Yeah. Unfortunately, the best one on there was House of Cards with Kevin Spacey, and unfortunately, he had to self-destruct, or otherwise that would still be on. But he was great in that role.
Oh, I know. Well, he went the way of the dodo bird after buying his daughter to college.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't that. He started attacking everybody sexually right and left.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he wasn't in the college thing, I don't think, anyway. But anyway.
So we can have time to talk about Ebola in Africa.
Well, yeah. We've got about. Let's see. Now let's take the rush update, and then we'll do Ebola in Africa.
Yeah,
that is a global health emergency. So.
I just want to get through the 5
Well, yeah,
in 2 weeks.
I was going to say in 2 weeks we haven't got through the 5 things you need to know because of the callers and all the other topics that everybody wanted to talk about. So
exactly,
we'll be back with the 5th thing you need to know today, right after the Rush update. Here's Rush. 3 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Thursday, July 18th, 2019, 70 degrees outside. Looking for a high of around 77 today. Shane Taubman on the line, and Tom Eagle, your morning mayor, and we've got to get to the 5th thing you need to know today.
Yeah, we did it. Yahoo!
Go for it. Go for it.
No, okay. Well, so the World Health Organization, or WHO, under the UN guidance, offices in Zurich, Switzerland. 8,500 people work for it, mostly in research for world disease. They also had field operators. Over $1 billion budget. Finally decided they may have to call a world health emergency in the Republic of Congo because the Ebola has broken out. There's 1,600 deaths reported so far, but now it's moved to one of the largest cities in the country. Now, the Congo is sort of an important country because it's one of the most successful economically. It's a resource-based country, 92 million people. They have a $78 billion GDP, and it's 80% oil revenue to major people. So calling this interferes with trade with the country, and it also interferes with people being able to move in and help with this serious situation. But we've never seen this now in the history of Ebola where it enters a city of 1 million people.
Yeah, that could be a big deal because people can travel in and out of there. They're not going to quarantine the country, so you get somebody on a plane, and then you got 10 people on a plane, and then they go somewhere, and they go to church, and then you got 50 more people, whatever, and this thing could spread around the world really badly. And I don't know the guidelines that you would quarantine a city of 1 million people and not let anybody leave, or put guards at all the roads out of town. I guess I don't know how that works, but yeah.
Well, in the last pandemic, real quick, 100 years ago, the Spanish flu went around the world by boat, and it killed 100 million people. So, wow, this is
quite a deal.
Anyway. We got through it, Thomas. I'm so proud of you there.
I'm excited. We got 8 seconds left. Where we have to go. There you go.
All
All right, man. Say goodbye, Shane.
Goodbye, Mayor. We'll speak tomorrow morning. Look forward to it. And the next Friday night.
And not next Friday, a week from Friday.
Okay. Be happy, be safe, everyone.
A week from tomorrow. All right, man. Thanks. All right, that does it for us. Hey, I've got 2 adult entries. I've got tags for the sweet pea. And if you want to win those, give me a call, 522-TALK, 522-8255. I'll take the 5th caller. We've got posters go with them. So if you want a sweet pea poster and an admission to the sweet pea, give me a call, 522-8255. We'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. So have a great day, and we'll see you later.